What up, you guys? And welcome back to the channel. My name is Brooke. I am a twin flame in union with my divine counterpart, Danny. We do share a channel together, Empire of Neutrality, on YouTube if you would like to check us out. If you'd like to join our community over there. When you do come in to the live, or when you're watching the replay, if you could just take a minute to look down and hit that like button for your girl, it really helps out the channel. And I gotta get my watch hours up. Okay, y'all? I gotta get my watch hours up. Y'all want me to do this? Okay? Help a girl out. Share the video if you think that it may resonate with someone else. But anyways, I do still have personal readings on sale for $40 right now. If you would like to get a personal reading from me, I got a bunch of other stuff too. You just got to go to the website, empireofneutrality.com. I got mini readings up there, and I got personal readings up there. I got live readings up there. I got coaching sessions up there. Go see what you can find. And I like the mini readings. Those are like 20 bucks, right? Pretty cheap. And it allows you to not spend so much money and just see if we're fit. See if we will work well together. Test the waters, right? But anyways, let's get started, you guys. How are y'all doing today? How has your day been? What is it, Tuesday? Is it Tuesday? How has your Tuesday been? It is November 16th. My birthday is in 2 days. Shout out to the Scorpio gang. Happy birthday, Scorpio. And today we're just going to do some energy check-in. I got a channel message coming through. I'm feeling a lot of masculine energy today. So it might be a little bit of a bittersweet truth kind of day. That's how it's feeling. That's how the energy feels to me today. It's a bittersweet truth, right? Where like it's the truth, and the truth will always set you free, and the truth is always beautiful. But sometimes she a bitch, right? Sometimes the truth wounds our little ego. However, it checks our ego. So you might be getting your ego checked sometime soon. That's the first thing I'm picking up on. Oh shit. How integrated have you guys gotten? Have y'all been practicing? Are you ready for the trigger? Are you going to be able to, in the middle of that trigger, like fucking, what is that movie? What is that movie? I don't know. It's got Shia LaBeouf in it, and he learns that he's got this power, this magic. I don't know if it's magic in the movie, but he can literally like shoot the wings off of a fly. Y'all remember that movie? And then on one of the parts in his training, he's got there's like these piercing, I don't know what the fuck that thing is, but there's this scene where it's like these needles, ton of them, just like really fast, going back and forth. And he has to stick his hand in there and pull it out in the perfect timing where he can stick his hand in just in the nick of time to get out whatever's in there and not get jabbed. And he does it over and over again, and he's getting stabbed and shit. But it's training his awareness, and it's training his skills and his ability to be able to time and tune into his senses to be able to reach his hand in there really quickly, right? Anyways, what the heck is that? Oh, I done spilled sunflower seeds all on the table. Lord, Daddy gonna be mad at me. I'll just pretend like that didn't happen. But have you heeded the lessons that you have found yourself in lately? To be able to, when that trigger comes, to step out of yourself. That's the message that I'm getting mostly that's coming through. And we're going to go a little bit deeper into that in just a moment. But have you been able to train your ego enough, to tame your ego enough, where in the heat of a trigger, in the heat of the moment, you can detach and depersonalize from your surroundings, from what's going on, and be able to respond with awareness rather than react in fear or flight or freeze? So Spirit wants me to share part of my day with you as the energy update, as the message for you guys today. And then we're going to get some cards. So I went to work today, just like a regular day. And today I actually got off early, which rarely happens. And I got off like hours early. I got off at like 2:30 today. And on my way back to my house from one of the hotels that I was cleaning, I saw this guy standing on the side of the road, and he was freezing cold. You know, you could tell he was homeless and that he was looking for a ride, like he had his thumb out, right? And he had these two huge black duffel bags beside him. And I looked at him and I just knew. What's up, babe? Heading home? Cool. And I looked at him and I was just like, what am I going to do? What are you going to do, Brooke? Of course, like the type of person I am, like I want to help if I can, right? But I also want to take action from awareness, not from like obligation or whatever. I'll explain in a minute. So I go and drop my stuff off, my cleaning stuff at work, because I was cleaning at a different hotel today. So I go and drop off the cleaning stuff, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go get this guy coffee and a donut. I was like, I'm gonna relieve myself from any expectations, right? Any bias within my mind. And I just want to, step into flow. What feels right for me in this moment? What choice is calling me? So I go into the store and I get the guy coffee and I get him a donut. And then I'm on the way to the guy, and all these thoughts are running through my head, like, and it's funny, when you have the courage to say what sometimes we're thinking. So I'm on the way there, and like all of these thoughts are going through my head that are causing all of these just positive emotions. Oh, I'm going to go help somebody. Oh, I get to go buy this guy a coffee. It was all about me, though. It was interesting. Maybe I can encourage this guy. Maybe I can make this guy's day a little bit better. Me, 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 me. I. And I noticed that. So I stopped it. I refocused a little bit, because a lot of us, we are aware of when our ego is triggered in a way that is negative, that sends us into some polarity, right? Rather than balance, unity consciousness. A lot of us have been taught about our shadow, our ego shadow, but a lot of us miss the ego when it comes up and it feels good. We don't talk about that as much, right? And the ego does represent the identity, right? I. Ego literally means I. And we have to caution ourselves with those kinds of thoughts, right? Because we can become polarized, we can become imbalanced from those thoughts. Our perception can become distorted, our intention can become distorted, even though it feels good. It's a positive thing, right? So I noticed that, and I'm like, you know what? Like, no. No ego, like, this isn't about you. If you want to make it about you, I can turn around, you know? So I said in that moment, I kind of called it. And I was like, I release any expectations in my mind for how this is going to go down or how I want to help this guy or if he even wants my help or needs my help at all. I judged that guy. I judged him. I just realized that. I judged him. I thought to myself, he's out there on the side of the road. It's freezing cold. You know, he's looking for a ride. He must be sad. He must be lonely. He must need my help. How self absorbed is that, right? So, anyways, I go and, I pull up. Well, I'm almost about to pull up, and I'm like, I've released any expectations from my mind for how this is going to go, for, what he needs, and I'm just showing up, right? Spirit will I'm allowing this situation to unfold naturally. I just want to go on the journey, right? That was a choice I had to make. Brooke, do you want to go on the journey or not? I said, yeah, let's give it a shot. I do. And anyways, so I pull up to the guy and, I'm like, hi, like, how are you doing? My name is Brooke. How are you? And he's like, well, I'm cold. And, I've been standing up there. At this point, he had stopped. When I got back, he was no longer like trying to catch a ride. He just started walking. And he said that was because where he was standing, the wind was blowing like right on him and he was really cold. So I'm like, how are you? And he's, like I said, I keep getting distracted, shuffling the cards. I'm like, how are you doing? My name's Brooke. How are you? He was like, well, I'm cold, I'm trying to find a ride. And I'm like, well, would you like a coffee? I'd seen you when I drove by earlier and I thought you might like a coffee. Would you like a coffee? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, are you hungry at all? I grabbed some donuts. Would you like a donut? And he's like, yeah, I would. I'm like, okay. And then we start talking a little bit and I'm like, well, where are you trying to go? And he was like, I'm trying to go towards Pace Plat, which is like 15, 20 minutes down the road. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, would you like a ride? Would you like to ride with me? Would you feel comfortable riding, right? And he's like, yeah, I would love that. So I get out of the car and I'm like, okay, well, I'll help you with your bags. And I picked up his bags for him and I put him in the back seat. And I was like, and then our journey began, right? So why am I sharing this story? What is the message behind this story? And what I'm getting from, what I'm picking up on, is that some of you beautiful people that have found this message, I know that things have been challenging lately. I know that you've been going through it. I know that things have been changing. I know that you've been challenged, you've been triggered. I get it. Like, I know it's been kind of intense for you, right? But we got to check the ego. Right? We got to check that ego, y'all. And like I said, I know that it's been challenging, but I wonder, have you got a little self absorbed? Have you become a little selfish? We tend to do that. When things are popping off, when we're unsure about our future, when we are struggling in our relationships, when we're worried about work, when we're stressed out, we become selfish. And sometimes that's appropriate. Sometimes that's the necessary action step to kind of be with yourself. But for those of you that I'm talking to, I wonder if you've just become a little self absorbed, where it's I. Where it's like, I don't even want to help anybody. No one's helping me. This victim mentality, I'm struggling. I don't want to help anybody. I don't feel like helping anybody. No one's helping me. Victim mentality. And Spirit's message to you is to get out of yourself for a little bit. Because sometimes that's what we need to open up space to see things differently. We need to get out of ourselves. We need to get out of our ego. We need to let go. That's the thing. We get so attached to what's not working. We get so stressed out, and we think if we just focus on the problem, we can solve it. But a lot of the times, when we're focusing on the problem, where your focus goes, your energy flows. And we begin to create more of the problem. And then we become the problem. And then we're identified with the problem, and it's just our truth. And we're living in that, expressing in that. And this is just your reminder of Manifestation 101, baby. Of a Law of Attraction 101. That final piece, most of the time, when it comes to manifesting what you want, when it comes to overcoming an obstacle, checking the ego, getting out of yourself, but most importantly, you gotta let go, right? That is Law of Attraction 101. You have to let go and allow yourself to receive at some point. So that was the channel message I was picking up on. And I hope that it opens your eyes a little bit, because we can get so sucked into our ego. We can get so sucked into just worrying about ourselves. Okay, I knew I had forgot a part of that message. Here's the last part of that message. What was so interesting about the experience I had with the guy, and he was homeless, was that moment in the car before I picked him up, where I'm just feeding off of my ego. I'm gonna help somebody. He needs my help, right? And even though that feels good, it doesn't mean that it's an alignment. It doesn't mean that it's love. And why we need to check that part of us sometimes is because it distorts our intention. It distorts our energy. It distorts our frequency. It distorts our ability to give and to receive unconditionally. So my next question to you is, why are you doing the things that you are doing? You could be someone that buys someone a coffee, right? You could be someone that is there for your friends. You could be giving, and it comes off as loving and supportive and like you're a good person. But why are you doing that? Are you doing it to fill some void inside of you where you don't feel like you're good enough? Are you doing it to find some value in who you are? Are you doing it just out of love, respect for another person? So really pay attention to that. And pay attention to what your ego is getting off on. And is it coming from the heart space, from a pure place? So let's see. Let's see what the tarot has to say. I hope that that message was helpful for someone out there. And I have been I'm eating some sunflower seeds. I love sunflower seeds. I've been really into animals always my whole life. Speaking of, sorry, Nama, mommy block your face. Goodness. Well, you're so quiet today. Why don't you bark? Because then you tell me to shut up. Got it. Damn, Nama, you make me sound like a bad mom. Um, I've been really into animal spirits lately. And I've always been into animal spirits, but really learning, you know, what each animal symbolizes, maybe what the messages are, why they come to you, what medicine they offer. But I didn't want to read it online. Like, it's just, I get bored. I don't like staring at a computer like that and reading. So, Spirit heard my prayer. And last night I found a show on Netflix called literally just Animals. That is the documentary, Animals. And they got all these different animals. The first one is like big cats or just cats in general. The second one is dogs. And I'm getting like all these messages and meanings of the animals, and I'm picking up on their energy. So we got the panther spirit today for our energy check-in. Reclaim your power with a 44. This breaks down to an 8. The panther spirit. That was we in the first episode of Animals was the cats, right? And the panther came up, but I love how I watched that series so that I can get some messages from animals. And instead of any of the information that I learned from the series last night, I am thinking about Bagheera from the Jungle Book. That's what I'm thinking about. That's what I see here. So, what did Bagheera represent for Mowgli? Safety, community, protection, but also a living guide. That could be important for you at this time. You know, we have our spirit guides, we have our angels, our ascended masters, our higher self, our oversoul, right? But having a living guide on your journey can be a really powerful thing, right? Think about all of the beautiful information and downloads and signs that you get from spirit. Think about the power of spirit and all that they'd help you overcome, all that they have awakened you to about yourself. Now, think of that in the form of a human, a reader. That's what we do, right? I'm a living guide. So that could be really important for you at this time. So let's see. Let's see what else Bagheera got to say. But you know what they're also reminding me of about Bagheera in the Jungle Book? He's kind of a hard ass, right? Which is interesting because that's kind of how this energy check-in started. I was feeling a lot of masculine energy. I was feeling a lot of spirit's going to check your ego. Spirit's going to check you. Right? Not to belittle you or shame you in any way, but to bring you back home. Kind of recalibrate that ass, right? The interesting thing about Bagheera is he's very uptight and like a little bit controlling, right? He doesn't want to let Mowgli go and talk to the humans, or like he is very protective to the point where it's a little overwhelming, a little overbearing, and Mowgli kind of has to rebel. Maybe that's how you are. Are you a little hard on yourself? Do you beat yourself up sometimes when you make a mistake? Or when you feel like you're set back Do you punish yourself when you feel like you've made a mistake or that you're not as far along as you feel like you should be? Do you punish yourself by taking away people that love you, by isolating yourself, by cutting yourself off from connection and love and joy and play and happiness? Maybe that's how some of your parents were. They were hard on you, they were strict. And sometimes their strictness didn't allow you to have fun with them, didn't allow you to evolve organically, right? Sometimes it's like they saw you as like a machine or a robot. Go do your homework, go clean your room. Clean the bathrooms on Wednesday at 3:30 as soon as you get home. Disciplinarian. And maybe that's also not even a person for you, but an energy that you have been um, learning lessons from recently. Have you been being disciplined? Is that what's going on here? I don't know where you got Saturn or what Saturn's been doing to you, but I feel this hardcore disciplinarian energy. Have you been being disciplined by the universe? Or have you just been being too hard on yourself? But there's something palpable and transformational with having a living guide, a reader, a support system, someone to help you hold your vision of what you are trying to accomplish, to help you get to your success. And what's funny is that's Bagheera, right? Disciplinarian, overprotective, a little overbearing, controlling, strict, uptight, right? But then who comes along for Mowgli? Blue, the bear, right? The big blue bear. Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your something. Yeah, man. I know y'all remember that shit. Right? Blue comes around and Mowgli takes off with him. And Blue's just this free spirit, man. Just he's like always high off the honeybee hive. Like just he finds meaning and purpose and value in every moment. And sometimes that gets him in trouble, right? So which one are you here? Are you Bagheera? Are you Blue? Or has someone around you kind of been in those characteristics, disciplining you? Has the universe been disciplining you? Do you need to tap into that free spirit like Blue and sing and dance and play? Okay, well. Danny said, didn't Blue have codependent issues? Blue has some issues, but he loved his life. And there's a balance, right? That maybe in some areas you needed some discipline, but maybe in other areas you just need to be the free spirit and let go, right? That came out in the beginning of this energy update. Manifestation 101, the art of surrender, the art of letting go, the mastery of taming your ego to a point where you can flow and allow the journey to unfold naturally, right? I ain't judging. Okay. You know, what was challenging for me today? You know, that the homeless guy that I helped out, I gave him a ride. I drove him like, not even gonna lie, Danny might be mad, but I drove that dude like all together, back and forth, was probably about 40 miles. I'll put some gas in the car, okay? But the most challenging part for me was that he still had a long journey to go to get to the destination that he was intending to, like where he was intending to travel to. And I could not, I couldn't, I couldn't take him all the way, you know? And it was hard to literally pull up on the side of the road, on the side of the fucking road, y'all. You know, he had only asked me to drive him 15 minutes, about 15 minutes down the road. And then we get to where there's a little gas station there in Pace Plat and a reservation. And I'm like, do you want me to drop you off here at the store? He's like, no, just drive, just about a mile ahead and I'll get out. And I drove for a mile and him and I were just talking and I asked him, I was like, so what makes you you, Like, tell me about yourself. And we had a lot of beautiful conversation. And I'm driving and a mile comes up, just didn't feel right yet. And I keep driving and he's like, are you going to Nip again? Which is like an hour away, right? And I'm like, no. He's like, you've been driving. I told you could drop me off. And I'm like, well, let me get you as close as I can to where you're going, if that's okay, if you'll let me do that for you. And he's like, yeah, okay. And I'm driving and I'm kind of waiting for there to be like a little store or I don't know, somewhere I can stop and it's not just literally off the side of the fucking highway. And I kept driving and then finally I did see like this little, I don't even know what it was. I wasn't paying attention, but like a little maybe motel or store of some sort. And I finally pulled over and I helped him get his stuff out and I had some change in my wallet because bitch be broke a little bit these days, ain't gonna lie, money been tight. But I had some change in my wallet, a few dollars, and I had spent my last $5 to buy him the coffee and the donut. So I gave that to him and I helped him pack his stuff and I had a bag of chips in the car. Look, y'all know I'm generous if I give away my chips, okay? Brooke don't play when it comes to the chips. Chip game is strong up in this house. I gave him my chips. And what was so challenging though was like just like looking, just knowing I was leaving him out there in the cold. But I knew that was the end of our journey, and we also don't know what other souls signed up for here, what their lessons are, what they're going through. And Spirit had told me that this was the end of our journey. So I'm like, okay. And I let him out and I helped him get his stuff, whatever. But it was time for him to journey alone again. But it was hard driving away. And last night I got up here and I gave my shadow a voice and I cried and I was vulnerable and I felt, I tried to be brave. And sometimes, and maybe for you too, like you think your life is so bad or like it just doesn't get good or it's just shitty or things are just stressful. And I'm looking at this guy and I'm like, oh, not to mention, not only was he homeless, was he alone, did he not have any money, but he also, I'm not sure what this was or what to call it, but he had this tumor, I guess it was, or this growth on his body. It was like here, right? Like, and it extended all the way, like past his knees. This growth. And if walking in the cold, homeless isn't hard enough, he's disabled. And I'm so like I'm thinking I'm brave. I'm thinking I'm strong. I'm thinking that my life isn't good enough sometimes, or I'm not good enough sometimes. And I see this man by himself, brave as fuck, walking with this disability on the side of the fucking highway in the mountains. And he's so sweet. And he's smiling and he's lost some teeth. And he's happy to talk to me and he's asking me about myself and he's just making the best out of all of his moments. And he's telling me why he had to leave. Because I asked him, like, what made you want to leave or travel to where you're going to now? And apparently there was a mafia where he was at, and they were like bullying him, and he was afraid that they were going to kill him. So he felt it was time to leave. And it's just, I'm blown away by his courage. I'm blown away by his resiliency. And, he was talking to me about how, he was grateful for my hospitality and for the coffee and the ride. And he's telling me how he always seems to meet, because I was like, I mentioned to him, I don't know how we got talking about it, but something about, you never know with people, or like who you can trust, or people are actually good hearted. And I was like, yeah, I know. It even makes it hard because for someone like me, picking up a stranger, I'm a woman, he was a man, you know. Um, yeah, where was I going with that? Hmm. Where was I going with that, Spirit? Why are you bringing it up? He said that he seems to always run into the people that are evil, that are mean, that hurt him. And, I'm telling him, I know what that's like. How many of us up here know what it's like to keep manifesting that narcissist, right? Manifesting friends that betray you, manifesting situations where your family hurts you. How many of us know about that life? Okay, so I'm like, dude, I feel you. And I told him, I was like, you know what, though? I have to admit, since I have chosen to speak my truth and not shut myself down or be afraid to be who I am, even if people reject me or judge me, the more that I've gained more courage to being just me, the more I've found that I run into people that are like me, that have a heart like me, you know? But anyways, before this stream is forever, let's pump the brakes for a minute, even though this is a live stream. So I hope that you guys get to just chill and hang out with me. Maybe even drop a comment. You are welcome to blow up my comment section. Brittany, she blew up my comment section the other day. It was wonderful. I do it to Lauren all the time. I don't care. I go up in Lauren's readings. Because YouTube, when you watch the playback, you can't comment. So I'll be watching Lauren's videos and I'll comment, and there's like, her whole comment section is me. But feel free if you would like to do that. So let's see what this Panther Spirit says. It takes courage to face challenges, and right now, Panther Spirit is here to say that you are braver than you think. Now is the time to take a risk and step into a different aspect of your being. Speak as you have never spoken before. Act as you have always dreamed you might, and have the courage to act. Love fearlessly and fully. And expect to feel the adrenaline rush as you are initiated into a new, braver, bolder self. Panther Spirit says the time for dreaming about what you want to do is giving way to that. Wait, what? Panther Spirit says the time for dreaming about what you want to do is giving way to that first courageous act towards reclaiming your Panther Spirit and power. Your new identity may feel strange at first, but you have what it takes and your soul wants this. Be bold. So let's see what this starfish spirit is. Open to infinite possibility. 14 breaks down to a 5, which talks about change. We've definitely been dealing with a lot of changes lately, huh? Stretched out on the bench, the starfish opens fully to the rays of the sun, to the power of potential. As you look out toward the horizon, do you open up to infinite possibility? Spirit is the source of opportunities beyond your wildest imagination and ensures endless possibilities are available at this time. Starfish urges you. Look at that. 555 on the clock. Starfish urges you to stretch past the limits of your everyday perception and comfort zone to dream of bigger things and imagine with even greater hope and faith, for miraculous potential is shining down on you. Feel it, bask in it, and open yourself to be filled with inspiration. This is a very fortunate sign that Starfish Spirit has come to remind you of your infinite potential. Okay. 555 on the clock. I'm just gonna pull a few. And this is the Wild Unknown Tarot deck. Okay. Current energy with High Priestess. Pisces energy, baby. Love me some Pisces energy. And you know what? Another cat. Something interesting that I learned about cats. Big cats, little cats. I mean, not all cats. Strength card with a lion. But most cats, they are equipped to nurture themselves, to take care of themselves, to hunt for themselves. They don't need a pack, not necessarily, to survive out in the wild. Whereas a dog, I mean, they got the nails, they got the crazy teeth, they can pounce, they're fast, they're agile, they can climb trees, most of them, right? And the real difference between cats and dogs is their independence. And then for dogs, their dependence on a family, on a tribe, right? And in the beginning of this message, we were talking about needing that living guide, right? So maybe this has been you for a while. Independent as fuck. Just following your intuition, following spirit. And I know that things have been popping off or just kept your focus. But Spirit just reminded me of one of the channel messages that I forgot to give. Thank you. Oh, that was not one? No, that's a good girl. Thank you. I know things have been stressful, and I know that maybe some of you have kind of been a little self-absorbed because of what's going on. Really focused on yourself, really focused on your own life. But I think it's time to get out of yourself a little bit. Have you checked in with your friends? Have you checked on your friends? Have you checked on your family? Have you checked on your nieces, your nephews, your cousins? Or have you just only been worried about yourself? Or do you not feel good enough? Or like you're not in a space in your life where you can be of benefit or value to anyone? Because that's just the ego keeping you from showing up, keeping you from attracting what you're trying to manifest, keeping you stuck instead of letting go. Can you let go and get out of yourself? Because what I'm seeing here is really fierce energy, independent energy. You got everything that you need, right? You're set up. But why has it been so challenging? Why has it been so hard? Emperor. Maybe because it's time to tap back into your roots, which is unity consciousness. That's who you really are. That's the essence of who we are, right? A tribe, a family, one consciousness, two of cups being there. So be brave. And even when you don't feel like worthy, or even if you feel like you can't show up and be whoever your mind is telling you have to be able to be around people, like, be brave and show up. Your presence does matter. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all together. You don't have to be in a good mood. So let's see. 3 major arcana in your current energy. All right, let's clarify this 2 of Cups. The Moon. Quit hiding. Quit letting your subconscious fears dictate how you show up. The Emperor's about showing up now. Okay? If there's anybody you can count on, it's this motherfucker right here. And yes, I know that you've been having to do your thing. You've been having to focus on you. But it's time to show up. That piece that you're missing is community. Other people. Connection. And with this Magician card being, High Priestess being here, I feel like your intuition has been pushing you towards someone with this 2 of Cups. And there's a lot of passion here. There's a lot of pure love here. But with this Moon card being here, why don't you trust it? Why don't you trust yourself? Or what's holding you back? Clarify the Moon card. For some of you, maybe you need to admit some secrets. You need to take responsibility for something that happened between you and someone else. Maybe you need to be honest about something. Maybe that's why things aren't coming together. You need to reveal the truth. Maybe that's just your feelings. I know Pisces can be a little protective with their feelings. A little reserved when it comes to intimacy and affection. But with this Emperor, that is courage, confidence, taking responsibility for what you want to see in your life, showing up. All right, let's see what this one's about. Another major arcana. There's that Ace of Swords. Clarity, truth. Ooh, I like that snake skin up there. Look at that. Shedding old beliefs. Shedding the ego's grip over you. Oh, hold on. And I also love this rainbow too, because what do the rainbows speak to? Equality and unity, balance. I feel like there's a truth that you need to speak to someone that will set you free. And maybe it's not even like a particular truth that you need to speak, but just whatever you're going through right now, finding the courage to go on the journey with somebody, even if it's just for a little bit, right? And not feeling guilty about where you are or where you're not yet, or what you don't have yet, or what you're struggling with. What has been on your mind? What has been stressing you out? Speaking about it, expressing it. And sometimes just that in itself, this person might not be the one that brings you the clarity, but just in the expression alone, sometimes that brings us the clarity. It's funny how when we take things from the dark and we start to express them and we start to talk about them, our perspective of those things change. So what else with this moon card, Spirit? Three of Swords in the reverse. And remain open to infinite possibility there with that starfish. And that 59 breaking down to a 5, breaking down to change, but it also represents conflict, right? What is keeping you bound and your heart closed? Why are you resisting this? And stepping into this empowered version of you. And maybe that's where that living guide comes in. You got these plans. You got these ideas. You got these things that you want to create. You got this vision in your head of the life that you seek. And your intuition is telling you to follow that you're on the right path. But it's not coming together. You can't figure it out. Maybe that's where that's the piece you need to take responsibility of with that Ace of Swords. Maybe that's the clarity. Maybe that's the secret that you needed. That's what's in your way. Get out of yourself. Check your fucking ego. Stop letting it hold you back. Invest in yourself. Invest in your passions. Oh, hold up. Okay, I'm gonna get one more. You can either make the choice to empower yourself, to step up, to be the emperor, be ballsy, and take the leap of faith wherever it's calling you. You can either make the choice or the choice is going to make you. That's what I heard. You can either make the choice for some change, or the choice is going to make you. And I don't think you want I don't think you want the choice to make you. I don't think you want your programming to make the choice for you. I don't think you want to surrender your free will and allow your ego or your fear or your limiting beliefs that you got to do it alone, that you can do it alone, that you're independent as fuck, I don't know what you got going on, that you don't need whatever it is for you. I don't think you want to let that version of you make your choices anymore. I think you want to change. Make the choice is going to make you. What's it going to be? I mean, and maybe that's where that living guide comes in, right? I have all these dreams, I have all these goals, I have all this power, but I don't know how to focus it, or I don't know the steps, or I don't know how to get this to come together. Maybe that's where a reader or a coach or a living guide can come in, divinely sent to you just to serve you. Maybe that's a part of their purpose, to serve you and for them to grow through serving you. Maybe that's your purpose in their life. But what part of your purpose are you running from because you're so fucking scared? Embracing that, accepting that. Right? Reaching out and saying, look, girl, damn, you're not weak for that. I heard some of y'all like, but if I don't do it myself, I'm weak. No. You're weak if you stay somewhere that you don't want to be because you're too prideful to reach out. Somebody has the key to the door that you're trying to unlock. But I worked so hard. You know, I built the whole door myself. I put the lock in, but I lost the key. Okay, well, maybe they picked it up for you. Maybe that's where that living guide energy comes in. All right, you guys. I've been up here for a minute. Dang it, I have missed my daddy's call like for 3 days in a row. Okay, I think that's it. That's the messages I got for today. I hope that they were helpful. The channeled messages in the beginning, I like those. All right. Hi, Brittany. What's up, love? Thank you for my early birthday gift. I really, really appreciated it. So go back and watch the replay if you did not make it in time. And drop a like. Really helps out the channel. And if you would like a personal reading, a living guide, I got you. You can visit the website empireofneutrality.com, book a reading. They're on sale, $40. And I love you guys. And I'll see y'all soon. My birthday's in 2 days, 6/11. My birthday's in 2 days. I'm gonna have a little birthday surprise fun party on my YouTube channel. Y'all came and hang out with me. Excuse me. I love you guys. Empress of Duality out. Maybe. Okay, for real. Bye, Brittany.